Okay, so here are the rails, and here is our show.
Completely off. Completely gone today. What in the world? Derailed. Yay, you're here. Welcome to the CK and GK podcast. Let's get going.
Hello, welcome to Tuesday.
Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here.
Thanks for coming. And coming along with us to CK and GK, as always, is the president of the fan club of the original Dark Horse president. The man who said, let's annex Texas, James K. Polk, Caitlin.
I knew where this was going. That's so funny. For those of you who don't know, dear listeners, I used to be a Texas history teacher. So that is made even more hysterical by the more recent taping of our collab show where we talked about James Polk all the time. And the
Came
fact
out
that
a couple of weeks ago. You can still you can listen to it.
Oh yeah, it's great. Designated Quizzers, look for the collaboration show. I think it's like their 21st episode, maybe. That's Jenny, mom to Haley, Alex, and Luke, lover of organization tools and all things Halloween. It is Claire Dunphy from Modern Family. Yay!
Nice.
Yeah. I love Claire. Do you like that show? I think that show is amazing.
Okay, so I have only seen this sporadic episode. I haven't sat and watched enough to really understand all of the storylines. But I could definitely get some Claire in me.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. I love her. She's like, in Friends when Monica kind of loses it, because Monica's always like the sane together one. So when Monica kind of loses it, to me, Crazy Monica is the funniest. Like that's when I just completely lose it. That's what Claire
if you're
makes
like
me think of.
And you're Gen X, it's Undesigning Women. Right?
Oh my gosh.
When Julia Sugarbaker would go Terminator on someone.
That's hysterical.
I am so old.
Yes, you are. You are definitely like raised in the 80s kid, which is so funny because you weren't old enough to be raised in the 80s. No. That's really funny. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, as I was saying, Crazy Monica is the best. When she loses it, those episodes to me are the funniest.
Oh yeah.
But that's how Claire Dunphy is to me. Like she's just like she's always holding it together until she can't. Yeah, it's great.
All right, circle time. Crisscross applesauce. Come sit on the carpet while I tell you a story
about sports.
Okay, about sports. So, do you know what turns 20 years old this year?
Lots of young people.
Right. My high school diploma.
Yeah. Mine too.
And, the movie Bend It Like Beckham.
Stop. No.
Okay. So here's the deal. I heard this movie was turning 20. And so I was like, oh, I wonder what other movies are turning 20. So I Googled movies made in 1992.
Oh, no, that's a fail.
That's 30 years ago.
Right, Jen. It is. And I do that all the time. People will be like, oh, 10 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, 2002. No, that's not right. I do that all the time, for sure.
Also turning 20, actually coming out in 2002, not 1992. So also turning 20 this year, 8 Mile.
No.
Yup. And the cinematic classic Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
What? I do not know what this is.
It was a movie that was like spoofing ninja movies.
Kung Pao Enter the Fist. That's what it's called. All right. Okay.
So this movie came out in 2002. I broke up with a boyfriend over this movie.
You did not? Are you serious?
Yeah. He went to go see it, and I was like, I can't date you if you're going to go see this movie.
Oh, okay. I was like, maybe you guys were fighting about something in the movie or whatever. No, no, no. This
Nope.
is this is like,
Nope.
I cannot do this. Okay. I
What is
gotcha.
that thing they say? Red flag.
Yeah, it is. That is a red flag for sure. When did Zoolander come out?
Oh, this is
I
a
bet it's almost 20 also.
question for the Google machine.
It is a question for the
Zoolander.
Google machine because I feel like I know that I saw it. I was watching it freshman year of college, but I think it had come out a little bit before that.
2001.
Oh, Zoolander's 21 years old. Zoolander
It
is
can
a
drink.
whole person who can drink. What is this? What is going on? Ay, okay, well, I'm
Oh.
gonna switch gears a little bit here. Here's my
Okay,
sports
we
stuff.
were supposed to be talking about sports. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
okay. Now we are. Cam Newton, best known for his life as a Panthers quarterback,
Mhm.
now a free agent, is in trouble for saying some pretty sexist comments. I'm going to read them for you. So here we are.
Okay.
And this is on a podcast that got released a few weeks ago now. At this point during this recording, I have not heard him issuing any sort of apology. He has some splaining to do as far as I'm concerned. Here we go. He says, "Now, a woman for me is handling your own but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss B, I'm this, I'm that. No, baby, but you can't cook. You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead."
Oh,
Yeah. So, first of all, shut up. You don't get to say things like that to people without consequences. You can say it if you want to, I suppose, but you don't get to do it without consequences. So, ew for you.
I don't like that.
Yeah, yeah, I don't it's not the first time he's said stuff like this either. Like he did this earlier and I remember when this happened because I remember thinking like what? And to be clear, we are not the most knowledgeable people about sports, but we do try to learn about it so that we can relay that information to you guys. And we do enjoy sports. So it is not unheard of for women to enjoy sports. So when he said this, I remember being like personally offended, even though he wasn't saying it directly to me. But he said to a reporter, her name was Jordan Rodriguez, I believe. Anyway, or Rodriguez, maybe. She asked him a question about a wide receiver who was running routes, which in football speak is like the path that the wide receiver will take so that he can be available to catch a thrown ball, a pass from the
Mhm.
quarterback. And he stops in the middle of the interview and says, It's funny to hear a woman talking about routes." And actually, what he said was, "It's funny to hear a female talking about routes." Like,
Mm. I don't
ew.
know about using female that
No,
way.
no. It because in that sense, it's disrespectful. It's not like,
I don't ever say to my husband, like, "Oh, well, males, they're like this." Like, I don't
no,
know.
no, no, no. When I hear female like that, it's condescending.
It feels degrading.
It does feel degrading and I didn't like it. So to me, this is just not this new wave of ew comments is just not outside the realm of possibility for him to not apologize for it because I really do think that this is what he thinks. And for the record, I'd just like to point out that last season in 2021, he had rejoined the Panthers after being with the New England Patriots for 1 year. And he went 0-5 last year as a starter. So I
Oh.
mean, you're a big deal. You're a quarterback in the NFL, but one, you're a free agent, and two, you went 0-5, meaning your starts, you did not win a single one of your games last year. So I realize that I'm not big and bad either, but just maybe focus on yourself instead of making comments about women that are nasty and gross and disrespectful.
And what happens if you're, like, not into cooking? Like, can't you still be a great wife, great partner,
And
great woman in the world and
right.
not cook?
And do you need to cater to a man's every need? Cuz my thought is no. Like no, that's not my job. It wasn't ever my job. And the fact that it was just a way to oppress. So, ew,
Yeah, I don't like that.
get
And
out of
also
here.
the word cater, right?
Yeah,
Like, meet. Like, I would like to meet my partner's needs. I know that I
right,
can't all the time,
right.
but cater to, that just
Cater to his whims. Right, like think about what Yeah, think about the connotation behind what he's saying. I just didn't like it.
I
So,
I have goosebumps. I don't like this.
no, I don't
It's like
like it. It makes me feel icky, and I didn't wanna give too much time to him, but I did feel like I wanted to point out just ew. Anyway,
hopefully by the time this recording comes out, he will have apologized and
I
owned
hope
up to
so
what he said.
too. I mean, I think also he needs maybe a sensitivity course,
Yeah,
maybe?
or a filter.
Women's history, a
Yeah.
girlfriend who can educate him on what to say and not to say. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, got any gems for me this week?
Oh my gosh, this is a good one.
Yay.
And it just shows like the world that I am living in this life, right? We are getting dressed one day to go to Miss Deborah's house, to go to school and work. And John has returned to the office a few days a week.
Oh.
So it's one of those mornings where we're all four getting in the same car. And he's going to drop Abby and I at the train. He's going to take Kit to the babysitter's house, and then he's going to go to work downtown. And Kit is like just insisting on getting attention to put his shoes on. He really
Ugh.
wants someone to do it with him. And I'm like, you can put your shoes on. Don't worry about it. You can do it. I know you can. And he says, but I'm stressed out about putting them on the wrong feet.
Oh.
And at this point, the weight of the world just lands on my shoulders and I start crying.
Oh, no, you also
And I'm
got
like,
stressed
I
out
get
about
stressed out
shoes.
about stuff too. And I know
Oh.
it's hard.
Oh, man, that is empathy at its
Yeah.
finest.
And
You sweet
it's this
thing.
moment it's this moment of like, "Oh, I know. I'm stressed." And it's like,
Was he, like, taken aback and kinda like, "What is my mom saying and doing right
"So,
now?"
are you gonna put my sandals on or like, this is not happening?" Like,
That's funny. So, are you looking for advice on this? Because I have a trick that we did for a little while.
go for it.
You take a sticker, like a big sticker, and you cut it in half,
Okay.
and you put it on the inside of the
Inside,
shoes,
and he has to make the
and he
picture. It's
has
like a
to make the
puzzle.
picture like a puzzle, and then he can put his shoes on the right feet.
Oh, see, what we did was just tattoo the words left and right to his feet.
Perfect. I think that also we are teaching Sam right now left hand makes the L.
Right.
So when we say turn left, he knows left hand makes the L. So we're teaching that, but it's not necessarily going as well as you might think.
Well, and
So
it won't work for my kid because he doesn't know what an L is
right. So that one doesn't work yet.
yet. But
But my
the
son is nearly done
sticker,
with kindergarten, so the left hand makes
yes,
the L, but I think the sticker would work.
the sticker is brilliant.
Did not come up with that. I saw that on some, like, Pinterest
No, you
mom
totally
thing.
made it up.
Oh,
You
yep,
totally made
you're
it up.
right. I made it up. I get all the
It's
credit.
a CK and GK original. We're starting a pin board. You can follow us on
Starting
Pinterest.
a hashtag. Oh, we could start a Pinterest page.
No, we can't. I'm not. You
I
manage
cannot
enough things
do
for us.
yeah, I
Do not
cannot do
also
one more
try and
thing.
manage a
I
pin.
cannot
Yeah.
do that. Okay, so here's mine.
Yes, please.
So before moms start judging me, yes, I have a Nintendo Switch for my 5-year-old son, and here's the logic behind it. My son was getting into YouTube videos on the iPad.
Oh,
I did not like the rabbit hole that he would go down on YouTube. We've all done it before as adults. I don't need my 5-year-old doing it, and I don't like the language that he was using or saying or the toys that I was being asked to purchase because he would find
right.
videos that are
On
just unboxing, right? So, yes, I monitored it. I couldn't monitor everything. So I thought, and this is not my logic, so I'm not going to take credit for it, but a friend of mine said, well, we bought our son, who's the same age, a Switch because we were able to monitor exactly what he was doing. And when there was a content rating on a game, we knew that it had been vetted, right? And
right.
we knew that we had control over every part of that. So we got a Switch, we got a subscription to like the Nintendo games. So, we can play with him together. If we want to play Mario Kart together, we can do that. But
Love
here's
it.
here's the side effect of this. My husband has also started playing with the Switch. And now to be clear, I also do too. I found Lego Jurassic Park and Jurassic World and it is like a puzzle and I like it. So I've been playing that a little bit. And our son plays it. So
Sorry,
it's good because I know it's so nerdy, right? But it's good because
I found the Jurassic Park Lego game. I'm playing that.
If you know my son, you know he likes Jurassic Park, so I got it for him, but sometimes he needs help with stuff, and it helps if we have a preview of what is going
Sure.
on.
Sure.
That is the reasoning we tell ourselves as we each pretend to be a triceratops in the game. Anyway, my husband has also started to play on his own, but he's playing like the classic Mario games,
Right, right,
right?
right.
And he's also found Mario Kart.
Donut, donut, donut. Donut, donut,
Exactly,
donut.
exactly. Or like the anxiety of like the fire sticks as they swirl at you. I just remember feeling so anxious. I'm terrible at that game. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly, and trying to rescue Princess Peach. Well, in Mario Kart, Princess Peach is one of the drivers, and my husband hates when he's racing and Peach is also participating in the races because she apparently
he's
messes with
been
him.
hanging out with Cam Newton apparently.
Maybe she has, but either way, either way, he's super annoyed with her particular character for whatever reason. And one day I look over and he's mumbling to himself and getting all frustrated at the Switch playing Mario Kart. And I hear him go, "This of a princess." And I laughed out loud. Like, you're talking to a video game and you just called Princess Peach the
That
B
word.
word. Like, what in the you are 38 years old and you're calling Princess Peach the B word. Okay. You
Yeah.
okay.
All
Understood.
right.
Maybe like our son, when you get frustrated with the game, you
Take a
should take
step
a
back
break
and
and
ask
read.
for help.
Yeah, exactly. Do you need a book? Like,
Yeah,
what should I go get you? Oh, so
that
it
is
was
funny.
just very hysterical to hear him cursing out Princess Peach.
So, I gave John a dad present at his he had a what do they call those? Bachelor party, right?
What? Like before you have a baby? Is that
Before
what you
you have
mean?
a baby. Yeah.
Oh,
So he had
you did that
yeah.
for him? That's so
No, no,
nice.
one of his friends threw him this bachelor party.
Oh,
And
I have never heard
I
of that.
gave him a present. I gave the buddy a present to give to John from
Oh,
me at the
that's nice
party.
of you. Okay.
I bought him a PS4.
Mm.
And
Very nice of you.
well, and people are like, "I can't believe you're buying him a video game. He's about to have a baby at home again." And I was like, "Yeah, and he can hold the baby with one hand and the controller with the other." It's like,
How is
we're
that
not
any
going.
different from
Yeah,
all the Bejeweled Blitz that I played on my iPad while I was
yeah,
nursing my child?
right. That's it. We're not going anywhere for weeks. This
Right.
gives him entertainment while he's bouncing up and down with the
Right.
baby.
Very
Yeah,
true. That's a good idea. My husband has not played a video game since before he went to law school. So it's been a while. So for him to be playing video games right now, and it's entertaining because it's like the classic ones, I have no issue with it. And he's not doing it during a time that affects me in any
right.
way, shape, or form. So I don't care. But it is
Yeah,
just, it was very funny to hear him swearing at Princess Peach because she's dropping
peach.
a
Yeah,
banana peel in front of him.
that is so funny.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
All
okay,
right.
that's
Well,
where we are.
that's so there's one of my obsessions.
Oh,
My
yeah.
my other one is well, I mean, my obsession, playing Lego Jurassic Park game. My other one right now is Cadbury mini eggs because it's leftover Halloween Easter candy, and the best candy to me on the planet is Cadbury mini eggs, not the cream eggs. They're too sweet. I do like them, but they're too sweet. I am talking about the mini ones that are covered in like the candy shell,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
Whoppers, not
No,
Whoppers.
no.
Mm-mm. These things, they're like pastel, and sometimes they're like purple ones and they're shiny, but no, just the plain blue and pink and white and yellow ones. Those are my favorite. I love those things. And now I'm going to need to go exercise a lot more. So tell me about the tonal.
Oh my
Is
gosh.
it
Okay,
working for you?
so I am feeling it in my legs. I am feeling
Uh-oh.
it.
Good. That's a good
No, it's
thing.
no, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's a
that's great.
100% good thing.
Good.
I love it. It makes a special sound when it's correcting your form. So even if
Oh,
like you're in the middle of a set and like working really hard, you like hear the sound and you're like, "Oh, let me look." And they'll say, "Oh, lengthen your spine to get more rotation or whatever." And they tell you exactly what you
yeah.
need to fix.
Yeah.
So cool. But I mean, if we're going to talk about what leftover Easter candy, oh my gosh. So my favorite is the Starburst jelly beans.
Oh,
And because
Only
because
jelly
of
beans I will eat, only ones. I don't eat any others.
because of this, supply chain blah, 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 they were $12 a bag on Amazon, so we didn't get any this year.
$12 a bag? I did
Yeah,
go to Target and I found the berry Starburst jelly beans, like berry flavor. I didn't find the regular
no.
ones, but I
The
found
OG
berry.
ones don't exist anymore. There's, like, something happened because of whatever is happening in our world. So, yeah, $12 a bag, and I was like, "No, we're not spending $12 on jelly beans."
I when I was preparing for Easter, I dropped a lot of money on candy. That's why I'm feeling the after effects right now. That's why I might need to come to your house and use the tonal. I
Oh
am
my
still
gosh, you
going through my
totally
walks and all that
can.
stuff, but I would really yeah, I wanna check it out. I wanna see it. All right. So, today we are going to switch gears from circle time. Thank you for your participation in circle time. Please go sit back at your desk. And we're going to talk about the job hunting process.
Yeah.
It is late spring. Yeah, it is late spring. Some people might be feeling the urge to change jobs. I have recently gone through this process. I was out of a regular, consistent job for about 7-ish months, I would say, right around there. I started my search kind of at the end of May of 2021 and then really kicked it into high gear, kind of end of June and found a couple of things here and there, but what really helped me was getting a handle on the documents that I was submitting when I would be applying for jobs. So we're going to do a series on cover letters and resumes. And if we need to expand it, we can. I have some ideas for more parts of the series, but definitely at least a two-parter on looking for jobs.
Yeah.
So today is all about cover letters.
Yeah, I was knee deep in it, this time last year
Yeah, you
because
were. I remember.
my organization that we had created together was ending. And so these families were all going to be sending their students out to different schools, and I was no longer going to be a pod teacher. So I needed a gig. And now I'm transitioning again. So it's always good to know how to keep things up to date and ready to go because you never know what opportunities might come your way.
Absolutely. And I think it's hard too when you've been in a job for a long period of time, you don't think about updating your resume. So, looking back on any accomplishments or things that you've done that you need to add to your resume can be really hard. So, I don't really have any advice on doing that except for just keep it updated as much as possible. Maybe make a rule for yourself to update it once a year or whatever if you're staying with the same job for a while. But I do want to talk about cover letters today because those tend to be a hot topic and a little bit controversial.
Oh,
So I think that that's the way to start. Yeah, I think so. The controversy about them is, do you need one?
if they ask for it, the answer is yes.
I think that the answer is yes, no matter what, because I'd rather overproduce and have them not look at it than have them want it and I didn't submit one, right? So
I see.
anytime it says cover letter optional, you should turn one in.
I
That's
like it.
just I think that you'd rather be over prepared than under prepared in this situation, right? So that's my first piece of advice. If it says optional, it's not optional for you. Yes, you need to make one. And the question always comes up, do I have to have a different cover letter for each type of position I'm applying to? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you do. Because if the positions are different skill sets, you have to make sure you understand that skill set when you are applying for the job, right? So that's super important. I personally have when I was looking for jobs outside of teaching, I kind of narrowed it down at first to like 4 different positions that I was interested in pursuing. And then I narrowed it down again, but I have about I think it's 4 categories of cover letters for myself.
okay.
And they're each different again, different positions, so different skill sets that were needed for myself. And then from there, each time I applied for a job, I would go into that particular file of or folder of those resumes and cover letters and I would customize them for each individual company that I was applying for. And yes, you should do that.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So my next piece of advice that I would give for cover letters, if it's possible, address the hiring manager by name.
Right.
It's so important to address someone by name. One, it shows that you've paid attention enough to know that there is a name attached to this position, but also it it's personalized immediately. You've immediately made a connection with someone because you've called them by name. It's really important to do that. If you can't do that, sometimes like posts on LinkedIn and Indeed and stuff don't have a hiring manager name, and that can be a little bit frustrating if you're trying to personalize it. So what I always did was I would say the blank team at the blank company, right?
Right, right. You can always address at least what you know position it will be.
Right. So if it's the marketing team at Acme Anvil Company, you've at least then made that connection with you understand that there's going to be someone in that team who's reviewing your cover letter.
Meep, meep. Sorry.
Exactly. No, you had to. I was hoping you would do it. That's why I kind of called it out.
Okay.
Okay, so the other thing is this is a big, big one for me. Follow the directions that they give you if they give you directions for the cover letter. For example, if your cover letter is supposed to address a specific time in which you solved a specific problem and you just prattle on and on about how good you are and how much you would fit that job, you're immediately out of the running,
Yeah.
immediately not even in consideration because you can't follow the simple instruction that is there. So ensure that you're reading the exact directions and doing exactly what they're asking for. It's like what I would tell my kids for math class, right? If you box the question in a story problem and your number doesn't make sense with that question, you didn't answer the question.
Right. There's no way that I had 11 and a half students. The answer is gonna be 11
Right.
or it's gonna be 12. But
Right.
if I have 11 and a half students, you are accusing me of hiding half a body somewhere in my closet.
Right. You have to ensure that you're paying enough attention. And again, if you can't do that, you're not showing that you know the skills, but you're also showing that you're not really paying enough attention. Why should they bother with you if you don't care?
Right. If you don't care enough to follow the instructions, you don't
Right.
care enough about the job.
Exactly. Exactly. So when GK and I were doing research for this particular topic, we learned that you have roughly 10 seconds to hook someone in with your cover letter.
Yeah. 10 seconds. They said 4 or 5 sentences in your first paragraph and then they're done.
Yeah.
You've either got them pulled in and they're staying with you or you're getting put in the other pile.
Right. So the best piece of advice I could give, I've seen lots of people who are like, start with a warm introduction. I completely disagree with that piece of advice.
Okay.
Because if I only have 10 seconds to get you, then I can't say things that are flowery and cutesy and fun. When I first started working for Acme, I really no, no one cares about that. Don't say things like that. What I would do is give them an engaging story immediately. If you can do that, you're going to get that 10 seconds of attention.
Okay.
So I like to start mine with pointing out a particular pain point for the company I'm applying to or for the position I'm applying to. For example, saying something like, the anvil industry has a problem. Just that line alone is like,
All right.
okay, I wonder what they're going to say that problem is, right? Or the education field is suffering.
Wow.
What are they suffering from? That's going to get someone interested. So, telling an engaging story right off the bat, you have to have some sort of hook. So, some of the lines that I have used in the past are the blank industry has a problem. Here's how to fix it. Right. Or my company had a problem and here was how we fixed it.
Love it. Love it.
Or my favorite, I had this particular problem and here is how I fixed it. Because you're trying to brag about yourself,
You
so
betcha.
you want to show how you're a problem solver. But again, you're also telling an engaging story. So ensuring that you have this hook element right away is going to be pretty important in your cover letter. All right, so next, along with that, the vocabulary that you use in your cover letter matters. We've talked about this before, right?
We have.
Vocabulary can be an entry point or a point of exclusion. Right. And so, in particular, I was thinking about educators who are transitioning either from school to school or out of the education field altogether. And for me, that was a massive barrier is understanding vocabulary and keywords and acronyms.
And the task that you've done in one job might be called something different in another.
Absolutely true. So, ensuring that you are translating your skills into a language that fits the industry is going to be key. Now, that might not matter to you if you're not changing fields, if you're not changing careers completely. If you're just looking to, promote yourself or whatever it is, then you might not have an issue with that. But if you do, you're going to need to make sure that you translate your language.
I'm just standing up because I was getting too tired.
What if we left that in? I kind of think we should.
Okay.
I'm just standing up because I'm getting too tired. Am I boring you, Jenny? She starts
No,
moving around.
absolutely not. No.
This is not one of our more hilarious topics, I will say that.
Oh, no, no, no. I've had a long day and, it's the springtime. It's teaching middle school.
And it's allergy season and all those things
I'm
that
just
go with messing with your
just having
physical
a
health.
fade.
Oh, yeah. Totally get it. Okay, so in addition to using proper vocabulary, I would say add in some language that demonstrates that you know what the position is and how you are going to be a good fit for that position.
Yeah.
So after you hook them in, that's when you're going to relay your relevant experience. And please do not use your cover letter to rehash your entire resume. That's why they're two separate documents, right?
Yeah.
And if you only have 10 seconds to hook them in, can you imagine if that's your first paragraph, you have 10 seconds to hook them in? Can you imagine how much time they're going to spend on the rest of it? What, 6
Right.
seconds a paragraph maybe? 5?
Maybe. And what you want here is to show them that you're a communicator,
Mhm.
that you have the ability to express why they should hire you. Not just here's what I've done, but here's what I can do.
Right. That's why I like the engaging story hook
I do too.
piece because you
It's
can show
forward
them.
thinking.
Right. Exactly. You're being proactive. You're showing them that you are a problem solver, which is why they're hiring in the first place. They need help. You're supposed to be the one who's offering that help. If you can show them that in your cover letter, that's great. So, again, when it comes to putting your relevant experience into your cover letter, I would keep it short, choose your best story because you don't have much time to hook them in. The thing that's cool about this is that you don't have to make this language up, right? This language comes from the job posting. It's right
Right. It's right
there.
in there.
Right. Now, for me, I think it's my ADHD, but I'm not the best reader. I tend to skip around and I will miss the main idea a lot of the time because reading doesn't often hold my attention the way that I feel like it's supposed to hold a grown up's attention.
Well, and I think that we've talked about this on the show before that like I would rather find the YouTube video of how to play a board game than read the instructions that come with the game.
And to me, it depends on what the like, if I'm gonna have to like keep opening my phone up and then having it like then I'm like, not forget it. But if I can just have something quick that's gonna explain it to me in like a 10-year-old level,
Right.
then I'm gonna be fine. But I'm really not always good about reading things like this. So I do have a recommendation. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get to that in just a second. But right now, I know that there are people who are like, well, why would I do this when why would I write my own from scratch when I can just use a template? Okay, I'm going to caution you on using cover letter templates that you find online. There's nothing wrong with them by any
No.
means. But if you use them, please, for the love of all that is holy on this earth or not, just customize it.
Right.
Customize,
It is a
customize,
it is a
customize.
template.
Right.
It is not a sample.
No. And templates are a dime a dozen. You don't have to pay for them if you're going to use it. You really don't need to do that. But also recruiters and hiring managers have seen them before. They know what all these templates look like.
Right.
So if you don't customize it enough, it's just going to be really obvious that you didn't know what to say and so you copied and pasted someone else's template.
Right. And if you are going to use a template, this is the Webernet. There's a lot of stuff on it.
Webernet.
Be be very specific in your search,
Right.
right? Like if
Right.
you are applying for a position as marketing director, at Acme Anvil, Google marketing director Anvil
Right.
cover letter
Right.
template.
Right, and you're gonna need to, again, customize it really, really well because if you get one that specific, the temptation is gonna be, "Oh, I'll
Use
just
it.
use this," and that's not a good idea at all. I do have a recommendation here. So here's my recommendation. There is an extension for Google Chrome. It is called Teal, like the color, Teal, teal.
Or the bird.
There's a bird that's a teal?
Yes, a blue-winged teal is a type of bird.
I did not know that. The more you know star goes up in the background.
I have a degree in wildlife and fishery sciences, so
From a good animal school.
I mean, it is the best Aggie major you can get, hunting and fishing.
Oh my god. I love it. Okay, so this Google Chrome extension, Teal, Teal, is an extension that allows you to save job listings from anywhere on the internet, and it has integrations with Indeed, LinkedIn, etc. It will save information about salary, where you're working. Is it remote? Is it in a city? Is it an office? Whatever. You can put in the job description. You can put in all the information that's necessary, and it will help track your application process for you. Not saying that they're going to be like, oh, hey, Susie over at HQ read it,
Oh
but you
my
can say, I
gosh.
applied for this job on this date, it's in progress, or I applied for this job on this date, I just got rejected, or I got interview one, or I got interview two. And it also provides you with cover letter templates, right?
No.
Yes, it does. And the best part about this is that this extension, when you create your account, you do have to create an account, but it is a free account. When you do this, if you have the job description in there, it will highlight keywords and skills that are needed for this position. And it counts up how many times that word is said in the job description. And you put that word in your cover letter as many times as you can, and it will get you more attention. And I know this because I used it and I have a job now. So I'm just telling you, if you're a job seeker, this is the bee's knees when it comes to extensions and when it comes to job help. And I hope that someone at Teal is listening to this because I love and believe in that product so much. It is
So
amazing.
it sounds so good. I like almost want to look for a job.
I think you just do it and play with it because it's that cool.
I do not want to go on a job search ever again.
No,
But I will tell you, this sounds like pretty baller.
it's amazing. The thing that I really liked about it was I could actually I saw trends in the jobs that I found engaging and interesting, right? So that
Right.
helped me really narrow my focus on what kind of jobs I should be applying for rather than a shotgun approach. I was able to take a sniper rifle, right? And when I did this, I could rate in the app itself, or it's not an app, it's just an extension. But the website, when you're tracking all your stuff, and has all this information, one of the things you can rate is your level of excitement about the job. So,
No.
yes,
That's so cool.
yes. So, there are some jobs that I would be putting in and I'm like, I might it's nice too because if you are considering applying for the job, but you're not quite ready or you're not quite sure, you save them in this extension and then you come back to it and it's got this big list and you can go, well, that's a 2-star excitement
Yeah.
level. I'm not going
This
to apply
is
for that.
yeah, this is a solid maybe.
Right. This is a solid, meh, I don't think so, right? So I noticed that there would be jobs where I would be super stoked to apply for them, and it's because they all had 5-star ratings on them, and then I was like, okay, that was a it was a fire under me to get me to go and hurry up and submit my application, but
That's
also
awesome.
just helping me narrow my focus. So I really love this product. Again, it has templates for cover letters on it, and it can take the keywords for you and actually throw them out there for you so that you know what words to put into your cover letter and not just like, I think this is a keyword,
Right.
which is what I would do. Also, not to like toot this program's horn again, but they also have templates for how to write thank you notes if you do get an interview. So there
Oh,
was
that's awesome.
all kind and like how to write a gracious like thanks for rejecting me email as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah. This also in terms of using templates, a lot of templates have too much information on them. Again, you only have a few seconds per paragraph to keep someone hooked. So I'm going to also tell you to minimize clutter on your cover letter.
And like you said, you are submitting your resume as well.
Right. So you don't need to have it be so much information. You can have a decent amount of white space on your cover letter so that it's easier to read.
When you're creating those spaces, you need to really be thinking about the formatting.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely need to do that. Before I ever submit a cover letter, which by the way, on my cover letter, one of the other things I do after I like talk about my skill set and how I'm a good fit for the job, I always tell them thank you for reading my cover letter.
Right.
Not like the middle school in conclusion, or like, this is why
All
I
in
think
all,
that right. This is why I believe that Acme anvils are the best anvils on the market. No, you're not gonna do that. But just say like, I appreciate your time and I look forward to hearing from you regarding this position. That's all you have to say. And then
right.
when you're done with that, save it all. Make sure it looks exactly like you want it to because formatting matters. You want that white space. You want it to have nice, clean margins. And then save it as a PDF.
Amen.
It is annoying to have 25 different PDFs for each company that you applied to. I get it. My employment folder on my computer is chock full of all of these cover letters that I submitted, and they're all in PDF form, and it's really annoying. I don't care. Submit it as a PDF. Why?
Anybody can open it on any device and it looks the same everywhere.
Yep. You preserve your fonts, you preserve your spacing. We've all been in a fight with word processing software where put one space in one place and everything moves, or you move one teeny tiny little corner of a table and the whole document is messed up, right? It happens to every single person. And unfortunately for me, I do my best editing after I've hit send. So if I save it as a PDF, I know that the thing that I'm submitting looks exactly the way it's supposed to when they open it up.
Even if they open it on their phone.
Yes. Yes, because that does happen, especially if you are a LinkedIn user and you're sending in your submission over LinkedIn. People do use their phone. That's the primary
Right.
way people are engaged with that material. So definitely making sure you save as a PDF is my final tip on how to submit or create a cover letter for yourself when you apply for a job. Okay, so our takeaways for this cover letter lesson. One, address people by name when possible to personalize. If you use a template, customize, 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 customize.
Right.
And ensure that you create a PDF of your cover letter when you're done to submit.
Right.
Yes? Okay.
So customize to whom you're writing,
Mhm.
customize what you're writing about,
Mhm.
customize how it's going to be saved so that it looks the same.
Right. And remember, you don't have a lot of time.
No.
So do what you can to be engaging, make it easy to read.
And also think about like I keep going back to that vocabulary and the fact that teal helps you highlight keywords. So many companies use automation to
Yes.
decide what resumes and cover
Yes.
letters will advance to the next
Yes.
level. So by
Yes.
reusing those keywords, you might make it through the first cut.
Yeah, that's exactly the purpose of this software is to help you beat that tracking system, that applicant tracking system that it's ATS in the broader world, right? Everyone uses ATS to figure out who should be in and out. And more often than not, you could be a great fit, but you got rejected because your documents didn't make it through the first scan.
Right.
If a person had seen it, you might have made it in, but a lot of the time, a person is not the first read of your document. So, highly recommend using those keywords. And again, if you're not good at it, like I'm not good at it, then find something that is good at it and that will do it for you. That's what makes that software so great.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yep.
All right. So this is when I say, if you like us or you want to pretend to like us, we'll say hi to you in the hallway and you'll be cool by association.
Totally true.
but you got to hit the like button. You got to press the subscribe button. You got to give us a 5-star review. You got to follow. You got to do all the things.
Yeah, and if you could again engage with any social media posts that you see, that would be super helpful. And if you are a friend of ours and you are not seeing our social media posts, then I'm going to ask you to search us. Remember that our handles are at CK and GK podcast on everything. Everything.
Let me give you a few keywords to use in your engagement. Favorite, hilarious, knowledgeable. I can't even say it with a straight face. Knowledgeable.
Brand new information.
Yeah. Up to the minute. No, y'all. No. Oh. Hilarious.
You didn't come right.
Maybe you didn't come here for facts.
No, you came here for maybe a little bit of advice, right? So that you wouldn't feel like a noob. That's why you're here. And we're happy to have you. So we're going to say
make good choices
and use your gift cards and customize templates. Do it. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast. Find us at CK and GK podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.